Taoist Astrology, or Wu Xing. Note that if you were born in the 3-year Wu Xing summer season under the sign of the snake, horse, or goat, or if you were born in a fire year, meaning a year ending in 6 or 7, and therefore have fire as your heaven stem, this audio recording applies to you. Also, if you were born in late January or February, check Google to find the exact date on your year of birth when the lunar calendar proceeds to the next sign. Taoist astrology cusps are more cut and dry than Western astrology. There isn't the typical blending that occurs with sun signs. You're usually either one Taoist animal or another. The Taoist year begins on a new moon, unlike the Western year that begins January 1st. Taoist astrology, like Western astrology, is described as a cosmic science for understanding another shade or layer of the cosmic onion of the soul. An understanding of the Western astrology of the soul and the Taoist astrology of the chi function can powerfully illuminate their respective roles, functions, and dynamics in the human psyche, and in some ways are essential tenets in regards to self-awareness and self-realization. The following material is a compilation of my own works interspersed with quotes from 2 major texts, Taoist Astrology by Suzanne Levitt and the Handbook of Chinese Horoscopes by Theodora and Laura Lau. Understanding the 5 elements. A fundamental part of Oriental philosophy is the relationships and interactions among the 5 basic elements of which the universe is composed: metal, water, wood, fire, and earth. Each of these is divided into conducive and controlling relationships. These elements are interdependent. Each is controlled by another while contributing to the existence of a different element. Note that dynamic alchemies between people are not bad. In fact, the flux of opposed chi energies of people are the magnetic tension which itself keeps chi energy vitally moving and potent, transpersonally speaking. Contrast between terrestrial perspectives work to reveal the transcendental object of truth hidden between the lines of each subject's viewpoint and nature. The alchemical blend of the 5 Taoist elements creates many healing modalities, including harmonious relationships and compatibility. This is demonstrated in nurturing relationships and friendships. Yet some elemental blends are not harmonious vibrationally speaking. This is demonstrated in relationships of dependence and conflict. It is often noted that in order to truly understand one's element, one ought to learn about the other element phases and how they interact and contrast each other, for all the elements are manifold expressions of the same chi essence. We are all one vibration behind the lustrous waves of our separate forms. By accommodating the essence of our fellows, we can thus blend and better deal with each other from a viewpoint of mystic kinship, familiarity, and energetic oneness. According to Taoist philosophy, no one element can be called the strongest or the weakest. Like the yin and yang, they are forever interdependent and always equal in strength. They are eternally joined in the chain of life that brings about their existence. There is no power or struggle for dominance. Each has its own place and function. Even in the human body, these 5 elements maintain their reciprocal relationships. In Chinese medicine and acupuncture, the elements rule the 5 major organs of the body. Metal is linked to the lungs. Fire controls the heart. Wood is associated with the kidneys. Earth rules the spleen and pancreas, and wood is identified with the liver. So when a Chinese doctor, herbalist, or acupuncturist treats an illness, he has to keep these interrelations in mind. For example, when the earth, pancreas, is affected, the metal, lungs, are weakened too. If the water, kidney, malfunctions, then it cannot produce its counterpart, wood, and consequently the wood organ, the liver, will begin to deteriorate. Fire, parent of earth, child of wood. From fire we get earth. Symbolically, fire reduces everything to ashes, which become part of the earth again and will serve to nourish life. We get fire from wood. Fire cannot exist by itself, but is produced by burning wood. Also, fire is generated by rubbing together 2 pieces of wood. Fire is controlled by water. nothing will put out a fire as quickly as water. This reflects that fire signs are very sensitive to mercurial logic. Water is Mercury. Fire bases its actions on the rational reasoning, which they are clever at mercurially sensing with their far-reaching minds. From my own notes, fire is directed by water. Thus, fire has much energy which they seek to use in a reflective leveling out of their world through aesthetic, mercurial, physical harmony. Metal is controlled by fire. Metal can only be melted and forged into something useful by the application of great heat. The following material comes from Cosmic Astrology, an East-West guide to your internal energy persona by Mantak Chia and William U. Wei, published and copyrighted in 2012 by Destiny Books in Rochester, Vermont, US. I do not own the following content. The fire element: flame, bonfire, volcano. Movement: blazing. Patterns: impatient, narcissism, impulsive, quick, passionate. Fires enjoy being busy all the time and are often quite impatient and dislike waiting because they must always be active. Fires enjoy risks and, beginning when they were young, they invariably did what other kids were fearful of doing. They did things like drive too fast in bad conditions, whether on ice or a narrow winding mountain road. Fires have a passion for the adrenaline rush. They can rapidly get enthusiastic about someone or something. However, the passion often does not endure. They often feel a longing or pain with separation from individuals and things that attract them right after they see them. Fires engage very quickly and in a passionate and unplanned way with everything happening at once. They find out that attempting to change individuals and situations is what they delight in the most. They are like fireplaces that have a need for the flow of oxygen in order to burn. Fires need to be outdoors daily just to keep their energy at a high and healthy level. Sometimes they even prefer to sleep outdoors. A permanent employment situation is hard for them because they cannot tolerate being in an office all day. Fires need challenges, a great deal of help and persuasion, or a good portion of mental discipline in order to complete what they've started. They crave attention and the spotlight. They love being watched by the public and enjoy being the center of everyone's attention, whether it is fantasy or reality. They have no problem walking into a room full of people and having everyone stare at them. Fires dance without inhibition, even if they are poor dancers. They tend to break or damage things easily, just as fire in the natural world does. Fires never close drawers and doors, even though they know how to, and when they finish, the room looks like it was hit by a cyclone. Doors are wide open, and all the rugs are twisted. They abuse and destroy their clothes and shoes, and their homes are always in need of repair. They touch something, and it just seems to burn. Fires love to play, and are really into sports. They fight boredom at work by developing their own games, playing them alone or with others. During business meetings, they may do or say something truly humorous just to disrupt the routine, making themselves and others laugh. Many athletes are fires because they love a challenge against others and can get seriously dedicated to sports. Strength, speed, and agility are all part of fires. Fires have big appetites for food and get very hungry abruptly. If they do not eat immediately, they can become temperamental or annoyed. They sometimes think that when they do not eat for a long period, their stomach starts devouring itself because of an unusual metabolism. This can happen even after having just eaten, and they can eat again in half an hour or so. In the same manner that natural fire devours wood and other fuel in a very fast manner, the fire element requires more and more energy to sustain its flames. This is due to fires utilizing more energy than other elements because of their ceaseless action while existing in an endless manner of aggression and persuasion with others. Fires travel a lot because they are passionate about escaping their normal routine. They travel inexpensively, go without hotels, and sleep in cars or in tiny tents. None of that matters. They just need to pack a bag and drive away from their daily routine lives. Fires do not like to be alone, and they find ways to manipulate people into keeping them company. Fires like to read or write, sometimes online, but they savor it more in a cafe or some other public place where there is a group and they are not alone. Fires frequently speak loudly and have no difficulty cutting other people off when they speak. Fires enjoy speed and are the type who does things fast. That means everything. Whatever they do has to be done quickly. They are able to complete all their work while their colleagues are still figuring out how to get started. They learn things more quickly than the teacher puts them into words. Unfortunately, they often remember nothing by their next class. This is due to the vast array of new things that have happened to them during that time. The same concept involved with burning things quickly applies to every single aspect of the fire's life. Fires can become angry quickly and easily, and possibly even get enraged. This is just one reason why fires usually get what they want. Losing psychological control of themselves can make fires do dreadful things. When the rage burns out, they attempt to apologize to the individual they hurt and believe what they did is not a big problem. They think everything can go back to normal. There is essentially no respect for the rules, and fires do not believe that others should have any authority over other people. They have powerful personal magnetism and can overcome in most situations with others. They believe the social structure is against them. Fires are in search of the freedom to be themselves, and they experience intense unhappiness when they become aware that society does not permit their physical ability and mental courage. Fires are forgetful and might require reminders of their promises and responsibilities. Memory for the past is not particularly good with fires. At a certain age, remembering past excitement is not easy. It is therefore wise for fires to keep diaries throughout their lives, or else record events on audio and video. Animals make fires happy because they can be animalistic without the sanctions of society. Healthy fires who are not suppressed love to play crazily and sometimes growl, kick, jump, and run quickly. Fires tend to think like animals themselves, and they can never be completely tamed. Playing with children is something they enjoy doing as long as they do not have the daily responsibility of taking care of them. They do not want rules or regulations and sometimes fail as parents because when they stop having fun with children and the time comes for their grown-up function, boredom has become a part of their lives. Fires sometimes talk back and disagree with people. It is easy for them to hurt people's feelings when this happens. Fires do not listen well to what others are saying to them, and everything they hear is thought of as a command of sorts. Hot and spicy foods are a culinary favorite of fires, and addiction to drugs, alcohol, and coffee are possibilities, but they are capable of stopping if things get out of hand. In terms of colors, bright orange, red, and yellow invariably affirm fires because they animate their inner fire. Food that is hot is a favorite of fires. All things novel and unusual energize fires, and eating the same dishes for 3 days in a row is torture for them. Experimenting with new and stimulating combinations of food and drink each time gives them a sense of power. Summer is the fire's best season, and their most important projects should be done then. Sunlight and outdoor activities, especially in the summer, but throughout the whole year, uplift their mood and energy level. Fires enjoy being nude, and dancing naked to a torrid song is something they love. Fires are affirmed by the everyday rhythm of the sun as it arrives at its highest level on the horizon, and enjoy lunch or brunch as their favorite meal. Noon is a time for their sexual hunger, too. Fires work during the day, and their energy level can drop toward the evening, removing their sexual drive. Fires like warm climates as found in the south. Fires should have easy access to southern sunny walls and sit there as much as possible during the cold days of winter. Fire's internal organ is their heart, and fires must take care of their hearts regardless of their age. Fires burn up their heart chi by working too hard and leading stressful lives. They need a diet that is good for the heart.